Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown. Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, episode 66 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. Let's make sure we got everything right. Nate, go ahead and give me some audio from you.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, we're good there.
You don't have the stream up, by the way.
I don't have the stream up?
In Discord.
I don't have the stream up. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me fix that, and then we'll get to it. Share your screen. Because something got weird. I don't know. There we go. And now you're go here, then go here. Live. We're doing this live, people. Boom.
Do it live.
All right. We'll do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live. All right. All right. So welcome to episode 66 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. This was a surprising week. I will say that right now. I was, we're both rocking the Wild Acre merch tonight. Anyways, our other job. Anyway, yeah, this week was surprisingly good. I was not expecting the week that we got, and I'd give it a solid A.
Hey, I would say the comic week was good. Anyone that was here last week and remembers my sniffles.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out I had fucking pneumonia. That was awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah, so luckily it sounds like you're almost 100%, which is great. I love that. And, this week should be good. Next week is actually pretty hefty as well, so we actually have a decent week next week. But while you're looking, I'm going to take care of some business really quick. First of all, let me pull it up on my internet browser, and then we can talk about it. But brainycomics.com, if you haven't heard about it, it is the website for our local LCS collected comics and games here in the DFW area. And you can use Brainy Comics if you're not in the DFW area to help support our LCS if you don't already have one. And so what we currently have on there, we have three things on there. We have our Two Fat Guys Pull List mystery pool, which you can get a mystery box filled with about, I'd say, 4 to 7 back issues, and then one exclusive, maybe even 2 exclusive covers. So we have that available on Brainy Comics. And then we also have these things called upgrades and premium upgrades, which will essentially get you, if you get the upgrade, Two Fat Guys Pull List upgrade, it gets you one mystery exclusive comic. Here, I can actually put it on the screen now because I have it set up. Which gets you, obviously a mystery exclusive comic that Ron has in the store. And his exclusive covers usually range anywhere between $15 to $20. So that $8 spend you do on the upgrade is not a bad deal. If you do the premium upgrade on brainycomics.com when you check out, you'll get 2 exclusives for $15. That's a freaking steal. So, if you're interested, if you're wanting to buy some comics online, we implore you, we would love for you to go to brainycomics.com, help our guy Ron out, and buy some comics and get some mystery exclusive covers in your package when you get it in the mail. So that is that business. We're also in the middle of a Milestone Giveaway. We're currently on the road to 550 subscribers, and when we hit 550, we will be giving away, not this one, that one's for 1,000. We will be giving away this Batman Adventures number 27, 8.5 CGC graded. Freaking awesome book. It's a great looking cover, homage cover. So at 550 subscribers, we'll give it away. We're currently at 534. Like I say every night on our live streams, that number kind of fluctuates here and there. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. But when we hit 550, we're giving away this bad boy. Someone will get in the mail that's subscribed to the show. And then we're obviously in the middle of a milestone giveaway to try to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if we hit that, we're giving away the CBCS graded 9.8 Amazing Spider-Man #4, the first appearance of Silk. Can't wait to give this away. Nate doesn't want me to give it away, but we're giving it away because we promised that we were going to give it away at the beginning of the year. So, Silk's getting hot right now. You know, there's rumors that she's going to get her own show on Amazon. She's going to show up in the Spider-Verse for sure in Sony's movie. It's happening. So let's get that subscription subs up to 1,000 so we can go ahead and give away these awesome books. And as always, we have other books in between $550 and $1,000. I think it's every like $150 we're giving away another slab. So you know, it's not like we're just only giving away 2 slabs. Every milestone sub goal that we hit, we're giving away a book or a subbed book or sub book, a graded book.
Graded.
Back over here. Oh. There we go. Anyway, that's the business for tonight. Obviously, I'm going to talk about Shuffle Wizard, but I don't have a slide set up. But Shuffle Wizard, we are going to be opening next Friday the new Magic the Gathering release. We're not doing Pokemon next week. We're opening Magic cards, and they're about vampires. It's like Crimson Rain or something like that. I know nothing about Magic. I know there's a tree energy and a water energy and a fire energy, but that's about it. Like, I know nothing about it. I saw online on my Shuffle Wizard Instagram. Go check out Shuffle Wizard on Instagram. They're releasing like these, like, in partner cards. Like, there's like a Strangers Thing 11 card where she's a wizard.
Shit.
Yeah, dude, it looks dope. So I don't know how to get those. I don't know if they're digital cards or if they're physical cards, but those look amazing. And I don't know if that's in this set or if that's like a special promo. I'll have to talk to Ron about that because I kind of want that card. But anyway, that's going on over at Shuffle Wizard here on YouTube. So go ahead and check out Shuffle Wizard, subscribe, hit that bell. And as always, hit the subscription button here. Hit that bell if you're not already subscribed. We'd love for you to be part of our community. If you're watching this live or if you're watching this as a past episode, go ahead and join our Two Fat Guys Pool List family. We would love it. Anyway, let's get to the week. We are doing 11/10 is the week that we are reviewing. And we are kicking it off, as always, with our X-Books, not for long, but as of right now, starting it with Excalibur, issue 25, from the great Teenie Howard. I really enjoyed this issue.
Great issue.
I think it's, and I think I said this in our new comic book day video, but that I just feel like Howard is hitting her stride right now.
Yeah, great point to hit your stride on the second to last issue. Great.
And, you know, either it's going to get a new writer in 2022 or it's not coming back for a while. So I'm sad to see it conclude, but I'm very interested to see how Howard does conclude it. But it was great. I feel like this should have been the bread and butter, the bones of Excalibur. You know, I feel like it's finally finding. I don't want to say finally, because I think the book overall has been a fantastic book.
Yeah,
but it just feels like it's really finding its stride now.
What's up, Sebastian?
What up?
Yeah, I agree. I think that this whole book has had the potential of telling a great story in Otherworld. And we've just pitter-pattered in it for so long.
Yeah.
That I think now, once we finally got past Ten of Swords and everything, and all those plot points finally got wrapped up, because there was stuff that even had to get wrapped up in the Excalibur issues after that. And so I really feel like it wasn't until like issue 20 that she finally got to do what she was doing, and it's been great. Like, this is the book that we were hoping Excalibur could fully be. And yes, Stefan, it is confirmed to be second to last issue. If you go to let's see, if you go to League of Comic Geeks, among others, because if you look at the solicitations, it says end as well. But if you look at the solicitations, either on Previous World or League of Comic Geeks, issue 26 does say final issue on the solicitation itself. So we don't know what that means. We don't know if that means it's going to get relaunched with a new team, shit, we've seen Marvel relaunch books with the exact same team before, but when they do X, they want to do it all at once, and I feel like they're really trying to just go, okay, Hickman's over. Like, let's pretend like it's all over. We're starting it all over. Stop.
No.
Interestingly enough, I have found one book besides Duggan's X-Men that hasn't been confirmed to be ending.
Okay.
Benjamin Percy's X-Force. It doesn't have a January solicitation, but it's a December solicitation. Does not say final issue.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a glimmer of hope as long as we get... X-Force is weird. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Well,
later.
actually, we don't get into it this week, but we can talk about it later. Anyway, let's catch up on some chat. What up, Stefan? Yeah, so we've already gotten to that part. Michael, what's up? Grayson, I really commend y'all for staying with Excalibur after the X of Swords. I just hope we get more otherworld stories. I totally agree.
That's what we're 100% on. Because
And
this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and this issue really dives into the otherworld conflict. And we set up so much after Ten of Swords and Otherworld with Death being with the vampires, and really I feel like Apocalypse and Genesis are going to come back, and they're going to come back coming for Otherworld, to be absolutely honest. I think that's somewhere they're going to really want to take over just because they're going to get bored. We
had so much Arakan activity in Excalibur. Mm-hmm. I thought Excalibur was going to essentially just be our Arakan book in everything but name. And I thought that was going to be so cool. Like, if we're just doing, you could even do classic episodic series, like every single issue is just a small different issue about the Excalibur team running into Arakans and getting into crazy mischief.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And I think we will get an Arakan book in 2022. I think we will, because they're not going to... I don't think Marvel is going to just wipe Mars off the map. And there's still going to be mutants on Mars. And I think... Well, what?
I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Oh my God! Don't say that.
I think they're literally. I think right now they're looking at everything Hickman did, and they're just going, redo. I don't like it. Stop it.
You don't say that. Anyway, let's get back to Excalibur. We're really jumping broadly into X books. Again, this Otherworld story is awesome. Arthur essentially takes over the Citadel with Merlin's help. And Arthur and his forces basically claim victory, and Merlin's like, no, until we have the head of Saturnine, we have not won anything. We own a place, essentially. We have not claimed victory. That's the crux of the book. I mean, there's other things that happen in it that are really awesome.
It's a big battle book.
Yeah, I love seeing Shatterstar in this book. I want more Shatterstar in this book. If the team gets revamped, Shatterstar better be there, because it's a late bloomer, right? Like, he's just showing up and he's kicking major ass, and I need him in more. I need him in more books.
I want Bay on the team too.
Yes. But we don't know where Bay's allegiances lie, because
even better.
Supposedly she's been lumped in with the Great Betrayers in the Inferno. We've got one betrayer already confirmed in Colossus. We'll get to that later when Inferno comes up. But she's in there too, and she's even kind of sketchy. And I think in issue 1 of Inferno, I believe she looked kind of sketch. Like, I think there was a scene where she was in bed with Doug, and she kind of had this creepy look on her face, like something's up. But whatever. But we can speculate all we want. But as for this story, yes, Bay being part of the team, I think, is amazing. We're getting more of her attitude and more of her personality in this book, which I think is great. And I feel like Betsy really, in Ten of Swords, when she finally came back, she took command of the Captain Britain role, and I believe she does it again even better in this issue. And I think she's going to do it really well in the next issue when it all ends. But overall, it was a great issue. The action was great. I thought the deposition was great. The artwork was fantastic. The battle scenes were awesome. And then at the end, where Saturnine and Betsy basically get teleported to this different realm, and an oh shit look on Betsy's face, like, oh, what did I get myself into? At the end, I think is great. But Merlin being bloodthirsty, King Arthur basically falling from grace, even in this cover, I thought was great. At least in the sense of our perception of King Arthur, right? Like this is a very gritty, dark version of Arthur, whereas we're kind of known more of his more prestigious, well-rounded, honoristic profile. So, good book, loved it.
Yep.
Can't wait for
ultimate
can't,
issue, but
can't wait for it, but also don't want to see it end. Hopefully, it gets picked back up in 2022 because I will continue to read it anyway. After that, we've got, oh my God, Hellions 17, another great X book that's coming to an end. Absolutely fantastic issue. The band gets back together. Hellions broke up in the previous issue, and they all essentially came back together in this one, except for Empath, right?
Yeah.
He got left off the bus, and he's pissed about it.
Well, yeah, because John was about to put a bullet in his head. He was like, I seriously said, if I ever see this guy again, I'm going to kill him.
Right.
I'm actually glad because I think the way that they used Empath at the beginning of this run was really great.
Yeah.
But that's really all you could do with him because he's such a maligned character in the history of X books.
Right.
That, like, I think it was good to just leave him out of there.
Yeah, for sure. So essentially in this issue, Orphan Maker is out for blood to get his adopted brother, his AI mutant brother.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes on a killing spree. And he's committed multiple acts of murder against the human race. So one would assume that Orphan Maker will be making a trip to the bottom of Krakoa.
Wherever that might be.
Whenever that happens and wherever that might be. But we'll get to that later. And we also see the death of Nanny in this book, like quite brutally. And it's by the
funny, though.
Yeah, and it's by the hands of the mutant AI baby who was manipulated into killing her. And her, I mean, it's the first time I think we've seen Nanny outside of the suit, but it's quite literally just her skeleton.
Yes. And it turns out that the name that the AI robot thing has been calling her this whole time is she keeps calling her Mew Mew, and Nanny loves it. She thinks it's awesome. Like, she's like, oh yeah, I'm your Mew Mew. And what the robot was actually trying to say was Mew 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 mutant scum. And then it literally like just unleashes an entire fireball and completely burns the outer eggshell of Nanny, and then the skeleton under it is literally just a skeleton under it.
Yeah, that freaked me the fuck out. I was like, oh well, she's dead. And then Orphan Maker just goes on a complete rampage at that point, snaps the scientist that knows Nanny's neck right off, just like and then he takes out massive weapons and just starts blowing holes through everybody that he can see. And when the team shows up, they're like, what the fuck?
He's literally put hundreds of rounds into just two guys.
Yeah.
There were like two park rangers that showed up because they were like, what's the commotion? But they, of course, they were pointing guns at Orphan Maker, and he just unloaded like 2 full clips on him.
Yeah. And there was another clip, I think as they're getting closer to the situation, they fight like a guard service or something like that. Mm-hmm. And Quanon just goes fucking ham on one of them. Like, she's about to throw a grenade. And I posted it in our Instagram. She just does like she does a psychic blade to her head, and it is so badass. Like, I was very impressed with that. Overall, again, I hate to see this book end. I think it's been one of the best X books in the Hickman era, even though it started late comparative to the other books. And I'm sad to see it go. And I doubt, we're both kind of under the impression that this book is not coming back, which is unfortunate because I feel like this ragtag group of mutants, we're finally starting to like feel emotion for them and feel the story. I think the story is really good. I think Wells does a good job in the story, and then the artwork's really good too. There was a little bit of a myth in the arcade storyline, but it came around. It definitely tied it in, which I thought was good. Quickie, what's up? The twist with the baby was good. I have a feeling that Empath will take the blame for Orphan Maker's rampage as well to make amends for what he did to Psylocke's daughter. Ooh.
Good theory.
I like it a lot. It would be nice to just kind of put Empath in a box and just be like, bye, because he's just so trash. Anyway, overall, fantastic book. Hate to see it end. We'll get the next issue in December. You know, a lot of X books will be ending in December, but then we'll be getting a bunch of minis. So, you know, we'll get the third to last issue penultimate issue of Inferno in December, which, me being a dummy, I don't remember what I was looking at. Oh, I was on Comic Hub ordering our comics, like, you know, pre-ordering our comics, and Inferno 4 popped up, or something popped up for X-Men. And I clicked the cover because I wanted to send you the Larraz cover for 4.
Of course.
Which looks amazing. It's Krakoa's like face. You know, I'm gonna pull it up, but I'm not gonna show the cover that I saw because that is infuriating. But the cover
Is it
for
spoilery or what?
it's the foreshadow variant, right? And it's literally called the foreshadow variant. And I'm just mad at myself for looking at it. I'm not gonna show it. I'm not even gonna describe it. But I'm upset about it because I looked at it and I'm like, well, it could either happen or it may not, because we've gotten foreshadow variants that haven't come to pass.
I'm still furious that we don't have any sort of look into the I can't remember, it's issue 5. I can't remember if it's House or Powers, but with Sunfire sitting on the Shi'ar throne.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is, like, we've picked up foreshadow variants that haven't come true. Now, is that because the pandemic messed everything up and we didn't get storylines that we were supposed to get? Mm-hmm. Or was it just like, this would be cool, right? Like,
right.
I don't know. And so, again, I'm not going to show the cover once I get to it, but I looked at it and I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, come on now. All right, I found it. I'm going to pull up the Pepe. Yeah, it's I'm going to pull it up, and then I'm not going to show. So this is the Pepe Larraz cover. I think it's an incentive for number 4. Yeah. Looks amazing. So it's like Krakoa's dead, but all the mutants are stuck in there, and the only person that's not asleep is Moira. And yeah, I love it, and I think I'll probably end up spending the extra money. I'll probably even tell Ron, like, hold this one for me. I want it if you get it. It looks amazing. But the foreshadow event or foreshadow cover just
I'm people to go look at it.
Don't look at it, but I'm excited about it, but I'm frustrated at the same time, if that makes any sense. That's all I'm going to say. And when it happens, and we'll talk about it. But anyway, that is our last mutant book for the week. Let's get into Eternals, issue number 7.
Yeah.
My God, this was a good issue.
So, yes, very good issue. Comic Book Herald actually said, has there ever been the greatest follow-up issue to a movie, like, released in the same week? Basically, he was saying, like, obviously this wasn't timed because Eternals should have been out way earlier. He goes, but this was literally the best issue you could possibly come up with to come out the week after the movie came out.
Yeah,
and I agree 100%, because it almost acts where the Eternals are at the end of this arc, the first arc in this book, is a very similar place to where they're at the end of the movie.
Okay.
Still, the movie's still too young to discuss, I think, but
agreed. I wouldn't.
But here we are with this sense of, like, our Eternals here need a purpose. They've just found out that their deaths mean the death of a human on Earth. What are we going to do about that? Who's going to rule us? And how are we going to change things? Because we don't want our minds wiped like they've been. Because this has happened before. They've found out plenty of times and then had their minds erased, and then we're fine with it.
Yeah.
And so what are we going to do? What are we going to do with that? And of course, Druid comes along and fucks shit up.
Essentially gets Thanos. Talk about micro-politics within the Eternals, right?
Right.
Like, breaks it down, has it all ready to go. I mean, just flawless victory when it comes to what he did. essentially breaks down every group within the Eternals who has to vote a new leader in, and plays his cards completely right, and gets Thanos to be the Eternal Prime. Like, gets him voted in to be Eternal Prime.
Like,
and
properly voted in.
Properly, like, no scheming. Literally uses the system how it was created to get him voted in. And then Thanos, after he wins, murders Eternal Prime, or Prime Eternal, who the previous Prime Eternal, who is his name? I can't remember his name. Anyway, he murders him again, kills him again, like literally smashes his head, and then kills what's his name too? Druid smashes his head on a rock. And while all of this is happening, our main Eternals group is, creating an alliance, if you will, with the Deviants, and it seems to be going okay. It's a little rocky.
Yeah.
We'll see how it works out, but I just don't see an Eternals Deviants alliance really working out
very well
against Thanos. Like, that's just not a thing. What up, Patty? Quika says, I love how Gillen writes Thanos, both incredibly smart and equally terrifying. Totally agree. And seeing the solicitations in February for where we're going with Eternals, I am so happy that I'm reading this book. Like, I know it was a little bit of a chore towards the beginning, and we were both kind of like, what the fuck's going on? But God, hasn't it? It's just really come together.
It has, yeah.
Here. Like, the build up to 7, everything that we've read previous and coming into 7 was totally worth it. And this would have been your cover of the week, but then this bad boy came out. Like, Jesus Christ, that's so good.
This book gets it one way or the other.
Yeah, you know what? And there's a Timeless #1 coming out by Peach Momoko. I implore everybody to go look at it and then pre-order it because it looks fucking amazing. But I digress. Anyway, Eternals #7, fantastic. Asad Rivik, artwork, crazy good. Gillen's writing, amazing. If the first 6 issues come out in trade, I highly recommend that you pick it up and read it, and then go out and get 7 prior to getting that, just so you can catch up.
This first 6 issues have been out in trade for like a month now.
Well, there you go. All right, next up, we have Strange Academy, issue 13. This series is only getting better. It's only getting better.
I thought we treaded water a little bit in this one.
Really? I thought it was fantastic.
I don't think it was bad. I think it was as good as the rest of them. I just don't think.
So what? Yeah, what makes you
not? I'm not interested in any of the developments that were made in this book.
Okay.
And I'm frustrated with what we're gonna do with our tubby boy that doesn't have magic anymore.
Okay.
So this book is basically told in 2 parts, right? So like we get the main girl, I can't remember her name, Bright or whatever, Emily, who has her friend down in the basement that she keeps talking to, and then we have the rest of the crew that's going out on a Friday night to go enjoy the boulevard, and they essentially go to a cemetery and see like, oh, there's this one tombstone that has a bunch of marks on it, a bunch of X's on it, and we find out that we basically get like an origin story somewhat for Zoe, right? Yeah, who is basically a zombie. We find out that she, like her parents go to this witch to like sacrifice her or not to sacrifice her, but to make a sacrifice to the witch to try to bring her back to life, and the witch is like, well, okay, she's coming back, but you're getting her back exactly how she was, which is dead and buried. So, but luckily her mom's a good enough magician to help her keep her fake appearance as a normal human at all times. And then meanwhile, you also have Emily, who visits her friend down in the basement. And why did we waste our time with this? Like, it seems like this is the conclusion to that story that's been going on down there. And I don't remember exactly. It's like this guy who something happens. His family dies or some crap, and he gets all mad and he hates magic and wants to kill everything that's magic. So Doctor Strange locks him in a basement, and Emily's like, I know how I can give you what you want. It's fake, but you can totally have it. and she like puts this sack on his head that like makes him dream like he's with his family again. That's it.
Okay, so now I'm going to convince you why all this matters and why this was one of the best Marvel issues this week outside of Eternals.
Oh, wow.
I thought Scotty Young did a great job of making a character out of all the characters that are currently available in his Strange Academy universe. Zoe, to me, was the least interesting outside of the mystery of the fact that she was a zombie. And I felt like that part of the book, he did a really good job of making me go like, oh shit, this character is really cool. I can actually kind of relate with this character because it's not just about, you know, why she's dead. Like, she had an expectation with her family of being really good at magic, and she just wasn't cutting it. And she had to, you know, she had to essentially make a deal with the devil or a devil-like character to keep that expectation with her family. And obviously, if you cheat your way through it, the dividends, the reward at the end of the tunnel is not going to, you know, it's not going to work out. It's not going to pan out. It usually ends up being rotten anyway. So I thought that Scotty did a good job of that. I think our chubby guy that has the jacket, you know, I think I loved the hook about, okay, he wants to figure out how to get to these wishes that Zoe used that ended up turning her into a zombie. He wants that access now because she wasn't good at, all he heard in her story was, I wasn't good at magic, now I am, right? And he didn't listen to the consequences, which he's already been down that road once before. But clearly something is going to turn him around because the next issue that we're getting for Strange Academy is a jump forward in time to seeing how these characters are growing up, which I'm super excited for.
Is it?
Yes, it is. It's like the future of, I think it says like something like the future of Marvel is bright or something like that. Anyway, now Emily's story. Okay. So we're dealing with the death of Doctor Strange. It kind of was not very, it wasn't alluded in this issue, right? It really wasn't even talked about. But Emily clearly has some reservations towards Strange, and she knows when something is not being done correctly, whether it's out of just spite or if it's out of ignorance, which I think Strange has so much on his plate that he doesn't know how to remedy certain situations. So if he's got a problem, which we've seen before in other books with Strange, he'll just quite literally put it in a closet, lock the door, and not let anybody be able to open it, right?
Right.
And that's what we got with this one character. Now, this character is from a certain issue from the past, but I thought Young did a really good job of showing the past of this character and what was involved in its development, which essentially he's from a race that I think denounces magic, right? Or it's either science or magic. I can't remember one of the two.
Right.
I think it's magic. Yeah. And his entire race, the reason why is because his entire race was almost obliterated and then was obliterated by a magic wielding user. And so instead of, I think what it was is he wanted to get revenge. So he started learning magic, and Strange stopped him because his plan was to, you know, wreak revenge and ravage across the universe. And Emily was like, I don't agree with how Strange is dealing with your situation, but I also don't agree with what you're trying to establish in learning magic. And so she kind of, you know, she did the detective work. She connected the dots, which again, I'm looking at this evolution of Emily and going, shit, like she has the potential to go very far within the academy, and I think potentially set up her as maybe, you know, the next Sorcerer Supreme. Way later in you know, Marvel history. But what I think this issue did for me, you know, showing her when she showed her grace and showed her solution for that character, and showing that Strange may not look at all the angles because he has so much shit going on in his life. What it showed me is I think the future is extremely bright for these characters, and these characters we absolutely love them, right? Like we say it every time this book comes out. Like, we hope this becomes either an animated Pixar Marvel show on Disney Plus, or they actually make a movie with Strange Academy, and I think it would flourish very well. as an animated series made by Pixar for Disney Plus. But I digress. I think, again, this issue for me affirmed my affection for it and giddiness for it every time it gets released. And whatever Marvel has to do to keep Alberto Ramos on the book, if this book only comes out quarterly, I'm gonna hate that, but I'm still gonna want to read it. Right. But I thought it was a great book. I think Young. I didn't feel rushed in my opinion, and in the opposite of your point of view, I felt really good. Like when I ended the book and it showed that character in the closet, essentially living in a reality, because he knew he couldn't leave it. He can't leave the closet. Like right. Strange will not allow it. Right, but at least he can live in somewhat of a paradise for as long as his brain and his mind will let him live in that fake reality. It's not a permanent solution, obviously, but it's something. Like that guy's been like, I don't think he's gonna just be like, all right, I'm good. You don't have to talk about me anymore. At some point, it's gonna get old, Right. But I was very hesitant with this issue when I was gonna be Zoe centric, because I just didn't really quite. I don't know. I just wasn't into the character, and I think Young did a great job.
I wasn't very.
I thought Young did a great job of just. I don't want to say forcing, but he just made this character mean even more, and I thought that was great. So, that's my opinion.
Well, I'll let you stick to it.
Are you jumping off Strange?
Oh no!
Okay.
No.
I don't know.
You're not listening. I didn't say that it was even bad issue.
Dude,
I just said
you were like, this issue sucks.
I just said it wasn't better. Usually the issues they just get better and better and better, and I would say this one was average from what I expect.
I thought it got better.
You can be wrong sometimes. That happens.
You can be wrong. All right, let's talk about Venom, issue 1 from Ewing and Ram V. Did you read this?
Oh, I didn't get a copy. Tell me that I should have gone up there while I had pneumonia.
Yeah, but not. I'm sure you have a copy. I'm sure you have a copy in your side, so you'll be fine.
I do. It's in my cart.
I think, dude. I don't know. I feel like we should give this. I want you to read it.
I don't read it. I'm already not that excited about it. So.
Well, and I would. I don't know. I wanted. Fuck, dude. I don't know how. I'm gonna spoil it. You okay with that? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I can. Shit. I don't know how to do this. I don't want to dog it because it's not bad, but it's not. It feels like we've already read this story. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Totally makes
like,
sense.
I think I'll stick to what I was saying before. I think Dylan's evolving character development should be the focus of this book, and I think I think Ewing should have quite literally done just a 12 or however many issue mini dealing with Brock, right? Huh? Oh yeah. But that being said, like, it's not a bad issue. It's fun. It just doesn't. It feels like we're doing the same thing again with the King in Black. If that makes any sense. It's just not. How many? Everybody that's watching and that's in the chat that's commenting, let me know if you read this book, and I want to know what y'all genuinely thought until Nate gets back, because I want to see if anybody else read it and how they felt about it. Did they like it? Did they not like it? Was it just kind of down the road middle, or, is it just, is it an A or is it an F? In my opinion, I don't know if it's just, I don't want to say fatigue, but I feel like Donnie set a bar for the character, and now we're kind of taking a step back, if that makes any sense. It just feels like we're kind of in this holding pattern, and I know that Ewing and Ram are trying to establish a specific direction for both of these characters, and I think at some point within the book it will be just about Dylan, but I don't know. Grayson, you say, I love the issue. I'm really excited for where Ewing and Ram are taking it. Okay, so I loved Dylan's direction, and I did like Ewing's direction. I'm just a little, like, you know, when Null was introduced in Donnie's Venom, you know, I felt like it was the same thing. Like, you know, I'm coming for you. There's nothing you can do. You can't even. There's no way you're going to be able to prepare for my evil plan and genius and darkness and void. And I felt like we got the same thing here, except there's just a little bit additive of mystery of who this character is at the end of the book. And I, you know, it felt very Null. I felt like the last character at the end of the book felt very much like Null, except it's a little bit more devious, a little bit more planned out. So I don't know. I liked the Dylan parts of the book, and I did like the Ewing. I like Eddie being able to jump through different symbiotes, and you know, basically being Venom or symbiote cops for the galaxy. And I did like the you know, the ominous message was the part where I was just like, this feels too much like Null. Like, I don't feel like it's original. Now, the time travel aspect of it, and Eddie using his symbiote powers to jump through symbiotes, trying to figure out a way to jump through time, I thought that was cool. And I guess that's where the intrigue is, and maybe I just need to reread it and get better into that. Let's see, Stefan, I read this book. I enjoyed it. I don't know what was missing, but I'm willing to see it out. Yeah, no, I'm going to continue to read it. I'm not dropping it after issue 1, but
wow, you're dropping it after issue 1?
That's what you heard, Stefan. Maybe it'll play off the Kang Timeless stuff. Ewing has been killing it with the tie-in stuff lately. I agree with you. I think that's definitely where, you know, Eddie died. Like, he clearly died, right? Like, we get that confirmation on the very last page of the book. But at the same time, we're jumping into this idea of time travel within the symbiote hive mind. So let's see. Grayson says Eddie versus Kang lightsaber fight, though. All right, yeah. Let's see. But, you know, I don't know. I'm trying. I will continue to read it. I'm going to pick up issue 2. I already pre-ordered. I think I pre-ordered issue 3 too. But this is what I'll say. I don't feel like this cover, and I know this is an impossible standard to set a book on, but I felt like when we got Donny Cates books, the cover matched the interiors and the writing. I feel like the cover for this issue, it's like, yeah, and it was like, this is, I mean, we are setting up. This is totally unfair, but it didn't feel like it matched. The intensity of the cover and a new number 1 matched the interiors for me personally. I'm not trying to dog on the book. I'm going to continue to read it, but it just felt a little flat to me. That being said, Ewing is definitely present. His cosmic, you know, which Nathan absolutely adores. His cosmic presence is definitely in this book. And then you throw in time travel. Okay, that's cool. But I'm ready for Dylan. Like, I was ready for Dylan
time
to just
travel.
It's how do I explain it to you, Nate? It's not quite time travel, but it is. Kang shows up, I'll tell you that. So I agree with you, Stefan. I think it's definitely Ewing is going to tie it in somehow into Timeless. I think Timeless is going to be a massive event it's being panned out to be a massive event for Marvel. You know, it's the Marvel 1000 for 2022 essentially, or 2021.
So are they? Did they establish here that they're like taking turns doing arcs or something?
I don't know, because that's the other thing. Because like I felt at times that there was a clear tone of Ewing and then maybe Ram.
Al Ewing is not credited on issues 2, 3, or 4. He's not in the book at all.
Interesting. Maybe it was all Ewing. I don't know. It felt like it was heavy Ewing because we were dealing with Eddie giving this ominous message.
What I'm saying. Both of them were credited on issue 1. But on issues 2, 3, and 4, only Rumvee is credited.
Well, that would make. I think that would make sense because of where we're headed, right? essentially what I said at the beginning is there is a King in Black style character introduced in this book by the end. Like, and that to me kind of took me out of the book. I was like, I felt like I've already read this before. Eddie gets an ominous message from this character saying like, there's no way you're going to be able to stop me. There's nothing you can do. Your end is near. Prepare, say goodbye to your loved ones. La 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 la. Right, and then he dies, and then he sees this new character who looks like a symbiote. Like he's all in black, but he doesn't have like the massive teeth. He looks like he looked like a null reject.
Okay,
but then that's not a bad thing. But it's clearly a character that is, I feel like. Maybe it's a symbiote version of Kang. Maybe that's who it is.
Oh boy, this sounds
yeah.
Like we need to move on.
You need to read it, and then we really need to talk about it.
I'll
Grayson says Ewing's writing Eddie, and Ram is writing majority of Dylan. Yeah. So I'm sure this was heavily Ewing because
that's what I've heard, but I always thought the book was going to be split in two like Green Lantern, but it looks like maybe. One arc's going to deal with Dylan, one arc's going to deal with Eddie.
I'd be okay with that, I guess. I don't know. I just feel very in the middle gray. Yeah, this number 1 didn't blow my socks off. I was expecting more. And I think that's unfair of me, but that's just my preference.
I don't think it's unfair.
Okay. All right, let's jump into Alien. How did it go? Did we get chicken xenomorphs? Did you not read it?
No, we didn't get chicken xenomorphs. No, of course I read it.
Okay, I didn't know.
Chicken xenomorphs, no chicken xenomorphs.
Well, Calvin said, "Are we getting chicken xenomorphs in New Comic Book Day?" So
we were hoping, but we did not get that.
Damn, would have been dope.
So, the quickest reminder for where we're at is a new colony. It's like a religious settlement. People fleeing for their own religious freedoms, and a ship carrying like years worth of supplies crash lands on their settlement. Even takes out some of their crops and shit. And when they are
King of the Trees, the Tree Meister. That's Evan.
Yes. When they go to examine the ship, the main lady who is over the entire settlement sees like a xenomorph pop out of the chest of someone. But then in this issue, she tells them, and no one believes her, and they're all like, "Oh, it's because you're sick." And she's like, "What the hell? How did y'all know I'm sick?" And they're like, "It's obvious. You like limp around and cough all the time." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And they're like, basically this whole time, they're like, "Nah, you're just a hysterical woman." And she's like, "What the fuck?" And two people go missing that night. And they're basically like cheating and sneaking away to go fuck while they're pretending like they're gonna like help clean up things.
Excuse me.
But yeah, this guy right here. Let me show you. He is talking with his lady, and all of a sudden he's like goes in for a kiss, and he gets one. Oh wow, my whole centerfold just fell out.
Bro, Penguin, what the fuck?
Damn. Alright, I'll show it to you like this.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. So he gets the sword through the back, and you're like, "Oh man, that guy's dead. That sucks." No. Here's the next panel.
Yo, oh my god.
Bro.
That's not tracing.
That is the most intense death I've ever seen in Aliens anything. Like, literally the most intense.
Or
death.
Marvel.
Well, definitely in Marvel, but like in anything. And then they discover his body the next day, and that's what his body looks like.
Shit.
Yeah, he's fucked up. This entire issue after that, though, that happens like halfway through the issue, and basically they're like, we gotta figure out who did this, because they think it's someone in the settlement. The settlement's only like 40 people, and they're like, oh, we gotta go find it, and they like trace these bloody steps and stuff. They basically find the xenomorph has made a little nest in the trees.
That's a good name for a band, by the way. These Bloody Steps.
These bloody steps.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry.
pretty good.
Sorry. I just had to get that out.
And basically the alien starts picking them off one by one. The main woman, like her right-hand man, she's like, why didn't you grab your shotgun? He's like, there's nothing out here. And so, of course, when they start attacking, she runs back to the house to go get her shotgun.
Whoops.
And she's looking for it, and she can't find it. And right when she turns around, because she hears footsteps. That guy is there and bam, hits her and knocks her out. Well, he got a little bit attacked by the alien outside, and he looks down and is like, "You're messing up the plan," and then his blood drips out and it's white. So he's a cyborg android. He's not a human.
Oh.
So the guy that she's her biggest confidant that she's been talking to this whole time, the only one that she told that was sick, the one that's supposed to take over once she eventually dies from this illness, the one that's supposed to be the biggest acolyte of the religion, is just a android playing at a bigger role here. And so it very much seems like he knew the alien was coming, and like somebody maybe sent the alien here to purposely destroy this religious settlement.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
Okay, Stefan, you're right. You're right. I didn't mean ever. Like ever. I meant like aliens ever. Don't let Red Room into the chat. We did that on issue 1. And
yeah, that was a bit sketch.
Oof.
All right, next up we have The Thing, issue 1. I even put the variant cover up because I thought it was just so much better than the original cover. This should have been cover 1 or cover
A. So this can really just be an honorable mention, but I literally just bought this because of the cover. I really liked the cover. I like Thing and I like Doom, so boom, there you go. Well, Doom Bothead.
You like Thing shorts?
Totally love them.
Right?
I love the
All
shorts.
right, man. Just making sure. Establish that.
So the art in here is.
How is
I'm just gonna say it's lacking. It's lacking.
Okay.
It's lacking pizzazz and enthusiasm. I mean, it's very cartoony. It's very I just don't feel like it's trying very hard, and the story is kind of boring. So this is supposed to take place in an obscure past. Not that this is an Elseworld story, but this is like, oh, this happened to have happened like in the early 90s. We just didn't tell you about it. Thing gets home from some trip and everyone's gone. The whole Fantastic family's gone. Reed and Sue are in Russia doing something, and Johnny's at a car show, and I can't remember his wife's name, who's not his wife at this time.
Sky?
No.
Things. The blind lady, yeah.
Yeah.
Barbara.
Barb?
I don't know.
She is somewhere. She's off somewhere.
She is somewhere.
She's actually with a guy who's like showing her an art show and like describing it.
Hold on, time out. He's showing her art show and she's blind.
And she's and he's like describing.
Did she ever have sight before?
I don't know.
Because like if you're like, oh, it's blue, and she's like, I don't know what blue is. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. I don't know if it's ever been established before.
Just saying. Okay, continue. What's blue?
Anyway, Thing gets mad. He then the guy pepper sprays him because he starts getting mad that she's with another guy, even though it was like platonic. And so the guy pepper sprays the Thing, and the Thing gets mad and accidentally hits a car and makes it go flying into a building, so he gets arrested. He's in a vibranium jail with Hercules for a second, but then he breaks out, and then this random guy that kind of looks like Death, I think his name is Mott, shows up.
Mott.
And is like, you think your life's bad? Well, get a load of this shit. And the only good part of the book is he shows him this, and this double-page spread is fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, so that's the splash that Stefan's talking about.
Yeah. So
is that a? Oh my god! So that's
you've got a Celestial dead in the back. You've got you've got Eternity. Eternity's actually dead in the back. That's who's behind the Celestial.
Surtur.
You've got Galactus. You've got Slurter. You can see Surfer's board sticking up there in the bottom. Like everyone here, everyone is dead here. Like.
Okay.
Looking more, you can see Thanos' glove, you can see Giant Man, Captain America, U.S. Agent, Spider-Man.
Okay, so this is a vision?
Yeah, this is like a vision he's giving him, and he's basically saying like, I think he's trying to say that he's Death, essentially. Because he even says, my name is, you can't utter my name in your language without dying, or something. And then he wakes up. The Thing wakes up, and there's this little pixie that's like, "Hey, are you ready to start your free trial to the Elysium courtship dancers?" And they're like, he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, you seem like you're really gross and people don't want to date you, and we pride ourselves on finding everyone to date, so we're gonna do it for you for free to show you how good we are because you're really gross and ugly." And he's like, "Okay." And then they're like, "All right, here you go, here's this lady in New York City and she wants to meet you now." And he's like, "Okay." And so he goes to meet her, and this guy from like the one page in the very beginning of the book, who is like shown looking at this girl's poster, he comes busting in with tires on his arms. And it's like, "No, get away from her. She's my girl."
What the fuck is this book?
I don't know. Like, I seriously think this is like someone's had multiple fever dreams and just put them all together and forgot, oh shit, no, this was like 3 different stories. And just kind of fucking mushed it all together.
Okay.
More looks like Kindred's cousin, that is true. It looks a lot like Kindred.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I will definitely not be picking up any more issues. I only picked it up for the cover to begin with, and I'm going to stick with that. If you want to see what Mort looks like, though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
He looks like Kindred.
What if issue 2 has another fire cover, though? Like, what if it has
It
just
doesn't already looked.
Okay, cool. You've already done your homework. Got it.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have Star Wars High Republic issue number 11. Oh man, this is the issue I've been waiting for. The Nile are just fucking ripping everyone's butt, and the Jedi may have found their match. When this toxic gas that feeds off the Force and takes the Force away into a nothingness void. That's the positive of this book. The negative of this book is I think the art is starting to go downhill. And it's not in the main spreads. I think the big 2-page spreads look fantastic. It's the tiny panels where there's action going on, but the amount of detail that the artist is putting in there, it feels like I'm reading what's the kid with the tiger? I'm talking about the newspaper cartoon, something in Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes. Some of the expression, like there's one where like there's the face of the main Jedi leader, and her eyes are literally circles, and then there's like a little smirk on her face, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, we need a different artist. I'm sorry, we need a different artist on this book. I'm not saying put Pepe on. I'm not going to take him away from X, but we need someone of that. We need somebody of that caliber. I think the art, getting the art a little bit higher on these books would just bring High Republic to such a higher level. You see what I did there? Because I think that's what's lacking. I think the story is really good. I love the story that we're in right now, but the artwork is taking me out of the book, and that's very unfortunate for me. Yeah. I don't know about you, but that's my opinion.
It really didn't pull me out of the book, but I can see what you're saying for sure. I can see it.
Like I want to get more involved, and I'm like when X-Men comes out, right? Gary Jerry's on the book, love it. Then you got Pepe Larraz here and there on the book, and when Pepe comes out, I'm like, yes, I'm ready for X-Men. And I think High Republic needs that. I think they need a little bit more of a style. I think it needs a stylistic change art-wise. Maybe it's more manga-esque, which I don't think is that bad. I think that's a good... I mean, we're already kind of going in that direction with a lot of Star Wars content. Why not do it for High Republic?
Yeah. I don't know. I see what you mean. I agree. I also... I think this book was... story-wise, was a breath of fresh air. Yes. Like, it felt like, okay. Like, we're telling a story worth telling here. I really enjoyed the amount of power the Nile were able to wield over the Jedi, and I really enjoy Skier's continued downward spiral into, I wouldn't say into the dark side, but towards a version of the Force that Avar Kriss is not
proving. Yeah, she doesn't prove it.
And now this is a little bit more critique by a judgment of other High Republic materials being read. But one of the things that I'm loving so far is everything else that I have read. We haven't done it too much in here, but a little bit with Skier. But a lot in other books is we're highlighting Jedi who are questioning the count, like the overall Jedi current viewpoints, the way of saying things. That there's a good and there's a dark, and we must totally eliminate the dark. It's totally evil. It must all be gone at all times. And that's always been something, right? In Star Wars, it's always been present. It's always been certain exceptional Jedi have always allowed a little bit of dark in there because it's a mixture of both. It's still part of the Force, right? Mm-hmm. The Force is supposed to be the best thing there is in the universe. Well, all parts of it have to be valid, right? And so you have a lot of characters, and I think that's what's happening with Skier. Is I don't think Skier's going to the dark side necessarily. Obviously, he's having issues, but I think they're going to use Skier as like probably one of the first big examples in the comic books of these characters that are starting to question the Council, and obviously Avar Kriss being the head of the Citadel and like knocking on the door of being on the actual Council herself. There's no way she's going to stand for that.
Right.
So we're definitely going to see some tension between those two.
Do you think he's going to go more like in the gray, like the grayed out, like a gray Jedi kind of thing, like we've already kind of run into? Or do you think he's just going to have a full connection drop from the Force?
I don't know. I hope that I hope that he becomes a Wayseeker, like the other girl. I can't remember her name, but I think that would be pretty cool. I really like this idea of these, the Jedi that just don't take everything at face value. Obviously, they're not going to take hold and change the way that the Council, that the Jedi Order happens, because we already know the future of this time period, and it doesn't happen. But anyway, I think that we had a lot of good strides this year, and I want to continue to see it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, that's High Republic, issue number 11. Let's keep going. All right, let's jump into DC with Superman Action Comics 1036. The Superman's Authority has arrived on Warworld. I like this issue. Well, just because I know you've got a lot more, like you have much more of an invested interest in this than I do. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to critique how the Authority was introduced, because I just don't have the proper knowledge of it.
Right.
That being said, I liked the brutalness of Warworld and what's his name? What's the main? Mongol. Showing this ancient Kryptonian race being absolutely devastated. I thought that was great. I loved the explanation of why Superman looked the way he did, and then when shit hit the fan, oops, he's not really, he's fallen from grace, and it's all been a lie. I thought that was great. I'm ready for Superman to have to wield a sword and shield and actually fight in Arena of the War World, which we got in Future State, which I think Philip Kennedy Johnson is going to continue. And then I have a feeling that we are going to move into the House of L. Like I hope we do, because I really loved House of L. And just there being multiple Kryptonians all under the banner of Kal-El. So anyway, love the brutalness of it. The Authority, I like their supporting act or whatever. But this feels very like, what the fuck? Like, if you hadn't read or knew about the Authority, you're like, what's going on here?
Who are these guys?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. So, a couple of things. One, what's up, Eric? I agree. We just talked about Alien. Loved it. It was so fun. That dude getting to the back of the head and his head going like this. Yeah, amazing.
Oh my god, we need to have a most excellent like Bill and Ted like pop up whenever someone says something like that.
Also, Kwaku, I don't know if you're still here. Man, I really wish like Calvin or Jaden might be here too, because I feel like this is the first time I have felt like in Johnson's run, I really need some Superman background. Like, I really feel like I need some Superman background to really understand and like enjoy the extra here. Obviously, the story, you just read the story and you're going to get the story, but there's so many things on Twitter that people have been pointing out. They're like, oh man, Philip Kennedy Johnson knows his Superman history. Like, look at this cool little Easter egg or that cool little Easter egg. And I just don't get it. And so I feel like because of all of that, I wouldn't say this issue is overhyped. I would just say that the hype missed me a little bit.
Okay.
I was hoping for more, and I think it's there. I just can't see it because I don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
I still enjoyed the story. I enjoy overall like that we're getting right to War World. I almost felt like this issue was going to be a little bit of a setup, and we were just going to have like one panel there. But no,
No way.
2 pages in. The art in this book is dumb good. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
The
Introduction of War World's like Avengers team was pretty dope too.
Huh?
Like their version of the Authority.
Oh, of the bad guys.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. No, I understand what you mean. One cool little thing. There's this panel, and you see these like cars that look like they're straight from like Earth, and people are like, "What the fuck?" Philip actually posted on Twitter about how like this particular sect actually got to Earth in like an issue in the 90s, and a couple of them made it back to War World, and they used like what they saw there to like make these cars and like do all these things. And that was like his random like homage to one of his favorite issues from the 90s, stuff like that. And so you see stuff like that, it's really cool, but like I just don't know it. And so like here I am, and I just look and I'm like, cars, that's kind of weird, but all right. And then you just kind of keep moving on. So I don't know. Overall it's basically just a bunch of big setup. We're getting, like you said, a team of baddies set up, because obviously we can't just start punching Mongol in the face right away.
Mm-hmm.
And we are, it's Superman, right? Like we should just be like instantly like, yeah, I mean, we're gonna win. It's Superman. Superman doesn't lose. And one thing I liked is that they show that this entire time Enchantress has been essentially pumping Clark full of steroids.
We're going to pump
and like keeping him going.
you up.
And so I don't know if you caught this, but after he sort of got depowered, the white showed up in his hair. That's how they're explaining why he looks different in Superman and the Authority, is because that was before Enchantress was pumping him full of extra juice, and so his hair has started turning white.
Yeah.
But when we see him in Batman/Superman and the Authority special #1, he's getting juiced, and so that's why it's not gray anymore, and that's why it's not gray again until now. And so it is saying in a way that's been the same Superman the whole time. Obviously, that's not how it worked out. We know behind the scenes things got fucky, but like, just chill.
Things got fucky.
It's fine. It's fine.
What up, Lee?
Oh, hey, Lee. So, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see more, and I'm excited for someone to explain to me. I think after this, I'm going to go tweet Philip Kennedy Johnson and be like, what do I need to read so I can enjoy this more? Like, give me a read or like some issues or something that inspired you or that you worked on, just so I know.
Get a better understanding for sure.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we've got what should be the replacement for Bendis on Justice League, and that is Chip Zdarsky's Justice League Last Ride, issue 7, the final issue.
Oof. So
he needs to be writing Justice League. That's all. He needs to be writing Justice League.
He does. I just want to toot my own horn for a second and say I wanted to participate in this book. And so because I was so far behind, I literally read all 7 issues. I read 4 yesterday and 3 today. So
I'm so happy that you did that.
So I have the entire series is very fresh in my head.
I'm just saying, like, this is I'm demanding. Okay, this was going to be my pick of the week, but it's not. I'm sorry. But I demand that DC, I know you're here, I know you're watching, because this is, you have to be, you only watch Two Fat Guys Pull List. That's how you make your decisions on all your comics. And since we picked up DC, you've just seen a skyrocket in sales because Two Fat Guys Pull List are talking about DC books. You need to hire Chip Zdarsky to be writing Justice League now and forever. The man knows how to write this team, and he does it very well. And thank you, Lee, right there. Final thoughts. The series seems to be resounding more Zdarsky. Yes. he needs to be writing Justice League. Bendis, I'm not trying to say he's a bad writer, but I just don't think I don't know. I mean, I will say this, to be fair, I've not read a Justice League by Bendis for probably 5 issues now, at least 4 or 5 issues. So maybe I'm wrong, but I jumped off because I couldn't take it anymore. It just was not a fun read. And this, for what limited knowledge I have of the team, it felt like the Justice League. Batty, damn right. Take 2 fat guys' opinions. Come on, DC. I just think he did a great job, and this entire arc was really fun. And outside of, we all know that this series has no weight within the actual DC canon. It's an Elseworld story. If you take that off the table, it was a fantastic story, and how he wrote certain characters, how he dealt with, and I'm major spoilers here, how he dealt with Martian Manhunter's death and resurrection, and where he placed him at the end of the arc, fantastic. How he dealt with Hal's betrayal and his redemption in this final book was really badass. I feel like it still had the great tone of Darkseid, and everything ends with Darkseid, and you're never going to be able to beat me. See, but Elseworlds are the best. I won't lie with you there either. But it was good. And I thought the redemption arc with Batman and Superman was fun. The comedic overtones with Flash was amazing. I thought Wonder Woman was Wonder Woman in this book. She kicked major ass. Don't fuck with her. She'll literally break your face when she punches you with her fists.
Or cut your head off.
Or cut your head off. Yeah, like literally when that happened to Lobo, I was like, oh shit, like that, and that I don't know much about Lobo, so when she said, "Don't worry about it, he'll regenerate," blah blah blah. Great.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like I thought we just killed off a character. And then just the establishment and basically saying we are no longer the Justice League of the Earth, we are the Justice League of the universe. Mm-hmm. It's like, fuck yeah, that's dope. Like, because now we can go anywhere. We can tell any story we want to, and we're not bound by defending Earth. We're defending everyone. And I thought that was great. And it's not the last ride. Well, it's the last ride for the Justice League for Earth, but it is not the last ride for the Justice League for the universe. And then I really loved John, the Martian, becoming essentially the new guardian of Oa. Like, he is going to be the guardian. Like,
of Oa / Apocalypse.
Right. So dope. That's me. That's just what I'm like. I'm not even going to spoil it. I mean, I spoiled some stuff, but
you did spoil a lot of stuff. But yeah, overall, I would agree with that assessment. I much more enjoyed this, what was going on here, than anything that was going on in Bendis' run. I think I like the characters a little bit more in here too. Mm-hmm. I'm not super invested in like a Green Arrow or Banshee as much as I am like John Stewart or Martian Manhunter, but I felt the weightlessness of this a little bit more than I wanted to for an Elseworld story. It just felt like it tried to be so heavy, and you can't. It's impossible for me. Like, it's impossible for, especially Double Time, because, and this is on me, not on DC or Chip. Yeah. Darkseid is not anything to me. I've never seen anything with him. I haven't seen the Justice League movie. Like, I've never read anything with him. So he's not scary to me. He's not anything. He has no weight. And so a lot of this is like, oh, it's Darkseid. Darkseid is. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, he's budget rate Thanos. I don't care if he was first. Like, it just, to me, it doesn't have weight. And then you tell me it's Elseworlds, and I'm just like, okay. It was fun. I liked the characters that we used. I felt like they were honorable representations of themselves. Thought the art was really good. I just don't know that I was quite as blown away as you were.
Quiga says, I agree with you guys. Haven't been digging Bendis' Justice League. Might jump back on, starts an interesting art, but right now he's doing Checkmate stuff, which I don't care about at all. Exactly. I don't even know what the fuck Checkmate is. Like, I'm not... let's just say this.
It's been around for a while.
What this did, we can both agree that what this did was Justice League needs a facelift.
Mm-hmm.
and Siddarski should be at least the first interview that they have with potentially writing the book.
That I agree 100% with.
I think he
100%.
can tell some really good stories and have some weight and not Naomi like I feel like I'm getting into rain here.
Right.
I feel like Bendis has thrown his own original character Naomi away. Just like, bah! Like I want to know more about that, and we're like, hey, let's do Checkmate. What the fuck is Checkmate? Like you're trying. The whole idea of putting Bendis on Justice League was to make it more approachable to new readers, and it's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I just don't. I'm sorry for the language, but I'm just saying. Like, anyway, this was gonna be my pick of the week, but then when you told me that this was gonna be your pick of the week, and then I thought about it, and I had read it before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Robin and Batman, issue number 1 of 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's the gas.
That's our pick of the week. I got the button, but there's no sound. Let me fix it. You talk about it. I don't know what's going on there. Let me do my.
Don't worry about that.
No, I want to get it proper. You get going. Talk about it.
So I mean, this is almost unfair, at least from my perspective, just because this duo, Lemire and Wynn together I'm gonna buy it no matter what. Like it doesn't matter what the story is. It doesn't matter if it's an independent of theirs or if they're doing the same exact Batman and Robin story over and over. I'm gonna buy it. Now that also being said, I would not say this is the same Batman and Robin story that we've been getting. One because it's Robin and Batman, not Batman and Robin. But basically, this is focusing on like the very beginning of their partnership together, and it's very much told through Robin's eyes, not through Batman's eyes. So we see, one of the last tests that Dick has to go through to try to prove himself. Things don't go exactly as he planned. At one point, he gets super pissed and goes and makes a suit himself, and it's the suit that Batman had made for him the whole time because, oh my god, it's like he's his daddy and it's really cute. I don't know, like there was more heart in this book and like emotion and like character development in this book than there was in any other books this week, by far. Not to say that not to put any of those other books down, but just I think Jeff Lemire has a really, really good knack for making some of these characters that we feel we know so much, still making them feel like real people. And I'm being a newer Nightwing reader, and so just getting a grasp of Dick Grayson as a character within the past year anyway, I appreciate getting this glimpse into him as like the start of his superheroics. Plus, Wynn's art is
I was gonna say
unfair. Dumb good.
Yeah, like my only I agree with everything you said, and then my contribution was the artwork was fucking amazing. Like
there are some panels of Batman that I was looking at, in a couple of these panels I was just looking at, and I was like, is that the greatest picture of Batman of all time? Right. Like it's just like this one when he first shows up.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this isn't going to do it justice for you guys, but like. That's just...
Well, I'll just say this: it's our pick of the week, and usually when we say something's our pick of the week, that means we're obviously putting our stamp of approval and like our, we're saying our opinion's worth it. And I think if you didn't pick this up this week, go out and find it, read it. If you're a Batman fan, if you're a Robin fan, again, we're very novice DC readers. This was absolutely fantastic. It was so good. Like Nate said, it had heart. The writing, the flow of the book, I never was confused on how the flow of the book was. Like sometimes we read some books that are just like, huh? Like you just can't follow it. And I know there's a structure that is to be had, and some people don't follow it. And this book followed it to the T. And overall, like it is well worth the $5.99 price point.
Yeah, it's one of the prestige formats of DC's. It's not Black Label, by the way. Like, as far as I understand, and Jeff Lemire was talking about it a little bit, this is considered DC continuity. Like, this isn't Black Label. This isn't, on the side. But, it's 56 pages, no ads. So it's a $6 book, but it's good. It's totally worth it, I think. If you're a fan of Descender at all, then you kind of have to pick this up.
And that is why this is...
That's the gas. Pick of the week.
It's our pick of the week.
Did it make the sound?
Yes, it did.
Nice.
Hopefully, let me know if you guys heard that. But I think I fixed it. Anyway, all right, our last book of the night, Teen Titans or Titans United, issue number 3. It'll be a quick read. I'm still in it. 3 issues in, I'm still in it. I think it's fun. I love the introduction of Starfire's sister. Was it Blackfire, or I can't remember her name. Blackstar. I can't remember her name. Anyway, she's here. She's messing around with Superboy, or the Lex Luthor, Clark Kent clone. So she's trying to like dive into his powers, and then we've got this mystery character who is clearly stealing other people's powers and manipulating other people to have them. And so we've just got, a back and forth between these two things. Red Hood is being Red Hood in this book. I love the back and forth between him and Nightwing and how they kind of play off of each other, kind of hate each other, but still need each other. And Nightwing kind of eats, or not, I'm sorry, not Nightwing. Red Hood kind of eats his own words in this issue, where he's like, flying can't be that hard. And then he quite literally tries to take a plane down with a grappling hook and flies off into the sky going, shit, I'm actually in trouble here. It was fun. I'm glad I'm still picking this up, and I will read this over Teen Titans Academy any day. But it's still, I am still enjoying it to the point where I'm going to continue to read it. And the reason why I'm buying it is because I want DC to know that I think we need more stories like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I can read it for free if I had the DC app, but I don't have it. But I guess they would see that too, like how many people have read it on the app. But I don't know. Like, I like picking it up in physical format, but I'm still on it. I think it's still fun, and I feel like it's an intriguing read for readers who don't necessarily have a huge knowledge base of the Titans, which I want. I wanted that in Teen Titans Academy, and I ended up not getting it after 3 issues, and I'm getting it in this current run with Titans, which I think is fun. So, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was good. I mean, not a lot. It's not my pick of the week, but it was fun.
Okay, buddy.
All right, so we didn't get to our independents because, one, we got them late, and so we didn't read The Furthest Place From Here or something like that. I didn't read that. And then Chicken Devil, at least at our shop, got pushed back to next week. So we didn't get to read that.
That's totally.
But
it totally got pushed back.
Yeah,
it wasn't just at our shop.
Okay, cool. So hopefully that'll be back next week and we'll be able to read it. So, but that is going to be the show tonight for the week of November 10th. We appreciate everybody that was watching tonight, and anybody who's watching this as a past episode. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, give us a like. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday for another new comic book day. It's a pretty hefty week if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think $16 on mine.
Ooh, yeah, it's finally going to have a beefy week. Like, we got to get our shirts made. Anyway, also, make sure to go over to Shuffle Wizard here on YouTube. Go subscribe, hit that bell. We're going to be opening up the new Magic the Gathering booster packs that are coming out on Friday. Crimson something or other, something about vampires. And we will be here opening those live. So it'll be a little bit of a different vibe. Not Pokemon. We'll be doing Pokemon. We'll be doing Magic the Gathering this Friday. So thanks again for watching, guys. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And as always, let me get my finger on that outro button. Read more comics. I'll talk to you later, fam.
Oh no, my poor wallet.